It's this weird thing where most people don't know the day they've entered it, but most people also realize at some point when they're in it. I was sitting in the church at a funeral of the parent of a friend of mine who I realized had declined so much during the last decade of their life that even though they were alive, they weren't enjoying life. The things that they loved to do, in the case of this individual, play golf and tend to the garden, they couldn't do. They just physically couldn't do it, right? They had injuries, they had aches and pains, and when they couldn't do those things that gave them pleasure, they retreated from life. And I don't think there's a person listening to us who can't appreciate that because they've witnessed it, right? They've seen it in a parent, a grandparent, a loved one. And I don't know, there was just something about that moment, which is often the case, right? It's usually like years and years of thinking about something and it crystallizes in an instant. But in that moment, I realized, aha, the way to avoid this is to train specifically for that decade. And the best model for how to do that is to look at athletes, because every athlete trains with specificity. Right, so think of like all the different types of athletes you would know. So if you think about like a sprinter or a basketball player or a football player, they are so different and very little of their training looks like the other guy. And the reason for that is they're doing something very specific, right? The sprinter has a goal, which is to move 100 meters as fast as possible. That's it. And that requires a certain set of skills. And the footballer has a totally different goal. Yes, he has to be able to run fast for short distances, but just being able to run fast would not produce superior results. And then the basketball player would be different. And then the skier would have a totally different set of skills. So I said, well, who's the most well-rounded athlete out there? It's the decathlete, because that guy's got to do 10 different things really well. Now, he or she doesn't have to be the best in the world at those 10. In fact, they never are. But overall, they're considered the best athlete because of the diversity and breadth of what they can do. And so I said, that is our model. So what is the centenarian decathlon then is, I say to you, one day you are going to be in your marginal decade. What do you want to be able to do physically, athletically in that last decade? It turns out there are approximately 27 physical requirements that are necessary to do the sum total of most things people want to do.